Hey you guys, Jeffrey Howells Carpet Cleaning, and today we are in Newberg, Oregon doing some deep carpet cleaning. Um, so basically what this is a move out. Let's go ahead on head inside and take a look at what we got here. First of all, the cleaning crew has been through here and has cleaned all the carpets and everything. But one thing that we do, most of the time, what the cleaning crews, the gals of the cleaning crews, will use a very lightweight vacuum. I don't know if they're using, what exactly that they're using. Usually, they're not very high end or anything vacuum cleaners. We go through. And we use a Kirby because the Kirby is ideal for getting grit and sand and all that abrasive debris up and out of the carpeting. Now, when you're dealing with animal hair, which I don't think we have any in here because there aren't any signs of it, your shark vacuum is actually better for pulling up animal hair than a Kirby vacuum. However, the Kirby vacuum does a lot better at pulling up that abrasive debris. So it's kind of a little bit of give and take depending on the style of cleaning that you are providing. We are doing a very deep carpet cleaning, so what that is going to entail is we are going to go through here. Phase one, our three-phase process is one is to go through and thoroughly vacuum all the carpeting to get as much abrasive debris out of here as we possibly can. Phase two then is to take our fiber specific pre-spray and make sure that we what's the term I'm looking for? Liberally, I guess, apply that pre-spray all over the place. And then part B of phase two is to go through and agitate that solution deep into the carpeting. And then so that allows us to move on to phase three, which is the steam cleaning process. We can turn our water down in our truck to probably about 300 psi or so. 250 to 300 does a really good job once a thorough agitation has been, after it, preceding a thorough agitation, it works really good. Because at that point, you're just barely rinsing the carpets and pulling all the crud and everything out of them because they've been scrubbed clean. So I will point out a few things as we go through each of the rooms. There are a couple spots that I'm going to hit up with some Stain Exit by ChemSpec. It's this product right here. It's basically identical to the Stain 1 by Pro's Choice. It's just it's a little bit more cost effective, only by a couple dollars here and there. I think that my vendor's price is up to about 20 bucks a bottle now, just because the prices keep going up and up and up. So with that said, I have tested this out. It works really good. Again, I'm just going to use it as I'm vacuuming, to pre-treat a couple of areas that I had saw in my initial walkthrough. So that's what we're going to do today, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them in the space below, and I will address those personally to the best of my knowledge. And if there is anything that I don't know, I do have a knowledge source that I can go to research things and check things out for you guys. So in the bedroom, we got this spot here. We got some stuff over here. I don't really know what it is. It's probably just a spill of a drink or food. It could be makeup. I don't know. But I'm going to use a Stain Exit. I'm going to apply it on here so that hopefully it loosens it up. So by the time we get things set up and we're ready to go, hopefully it may even be gone, but hopefully it'll loosen it up. If the Stain X doesn't take care of it, I got a few other products. Since it's a mystery stain and we really don't know what it is, I got a couple other, products that we can hit and miss on it to get that spot up. All right, one silly thing that seems silly that I like to point out is when a cleaning crew goes through a home, they're usually not edging out the baseboards properly. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And a lot of it also has to do with if you turn a vacuum cleaner over, you can see where the central vacuum is, and a lot of them will actually have the vacuum situated to one side. So, and that would be the side that you would use to edge with, because that's where the suction is being generated from. So you want that suction be as closest to the wall as you possibly can, just to pick debris up. Now, pretty much in every house that I go to, there's always debris packed along the wall. One thing I liked about the Kirby is that they situate that suction, very strong suction motor, right in the center of the machine, so you can edge a room using either side of the machine. So I can edge this side of the machine from here, or I can come over here and I can edge it, from this side as well. But basically all it is just going through and just going around the edges and hitting up all the baseboards. Because if going back and forth, if I turn around and I just do this sort of movement back and forth, you're leaving a gap along that baseboard, and all the crud is just going to gather in that baseboard, because you can see there's stuff already down there from the last people that came through here and cleaned this. So they obviously didn't do an extremely good job with the debris. So yeah, just as a tip, make sure that you run across those baseboards or along those baseboards and just do a good cut. And when you're doing the extraction process with the steam cleaning, the same thing applies. But anyways, I'll touch up on that once we get to it. Alright, I've just completed phase one, which is a pre-vacuum in this place. It's already been cleaned and vacuumed, and we pulled out another 30 to 40% of a bag of just debris out of the carpeting. So that just goes to show that the Kirby really does, go towards other debris that other vacuum cleaners just aren't capable of picking up. And again, like I mentioned before, it depends on the type of debris that you're going after. If you're wanting to do more of, if you have pets or something like that where you're concerned with matted hair, I would definitely recommend a Shark, because of their roller technology on their beater bar seems to work pretty well as far as grooming the hair and stuff out of the carpet. But as far as picking up the abrasive debris, Kirby hands down is by far the best one for that. So both of those vacuums I recommend. The Dyson is kind of an okay intermediate between the two, but I really, for a home consumer use, I would recommend a Kirby. And people say, well, what about a Kirby? Is $3,500 vacuum cleaner way too expensive? You can pick them up off of Craigslist or eBay or whatever for fairly cheap. Like this one here, this one's about 9 years old, but you can pick them up for like $80 off of Craigslist. I like this. I've tried some of the newer ones, and this one seems to work better. And then other people even like the older ones compared to this one. So it all kind of depends on its use and what you like, whether or not you want the automatic transmission or you want 100% manual. And then the older ones also have different wheel assembly down there, so that they maneuver differently on the carpet. They're a little bit more free rolling. So if you're not liking the automatic transmission, you might go with one of the free rollers. I think I think that was before the generation models came out, so you might have to go back, a good 15 or 20 years to find one of those models. But the Heritage 2, I guess, very good, solid vacuum cleaner. A lot of people like that. That is the Kirby, going back quite a few years. And then, like I said, if you want a lightweight vacuum in the house, you got pets, invest in a Shark. I think they're only a couple $100. You can pick them up at Walmart and different vacuum stores that carry them. So as far as Walmart goes, I'd say the Shark is probably the best bang for the buck there. Their other vacuums are pretty much trash, but yeah, there you have it. Alright, so we're moving on to phase 2. Phase 2 is comprised of 2 parts, A and B. Part A is to go ahead and take our fiber-specific pre-spray and pre-treat all the carpeting with it. And then we will follow up with part B, which is to go through and thoroughly agitate it using our cylindrical brush machine. And I will demonstrate the use of that here in a moment once we get the rooms and everything in here pre-sprayed. Alright, guys, so we're moving on to phase 3. Phase 3 is the soil extraction process using hot water. Truck was getting up to about 240 degrees, so we got some pretty good hot water going on here. And some little bit of carpet fuzz. What we'll do with that was left over from the CRB. So we do ourselves the edge out, but what I'm also going to do is detach the hose here and then just set it up. And a lot of times, if we hadn't vacuumed really good along the edge of the wall, I would run this hose around the edge of the wall just to pick up everything. You might do it anyways just to get as much of that debris up as possible. Yeah, it takes an extra 30-45 seconds to do that in a room, but believe me, it makes heaps of difference when comparing it to another carpet cleaning, because the customer can tell the difference, they can feel the difference.